Today we are making bread from scratch, and when I say from scratch, I mean it, because I am using my miller for the very first time and I have my wheat berries over here, so we are going to make our own flour and make some bread. My name is Alyena and welcome to my kitchen. So before we get into milling our flour, I'm gonna let my yeast activate. So in my big bowl, all I'm going to add is 1 tablespoon of my dry yeast. And then to this, I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of olive oil. We're gonna add in a few ingredients right now. We have our honey, our olive oil, and our water. So it's just 1/3 cup of olive oil. And I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of water. And if you don't know how to check your water, just take a temperature gauge, pop it in there. Mine is currently at like 105, so perfect. So we can pour in our water. And I'm also just gonna add a little bit of honey to sweeten it. And I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of honey. And I love this honey. I get it from the farmer's market and it is unstrained honey. And I swear it beats every other honey I've ever tasted. So I'm just gonna try to measure out about 1/3 cup. Now that all of our ingredients are in your bowl, you can just set this aside for about 10 minutes until you see some bubbles forming. That means your yeast is activated. And while this is going on, we can move over to our mill and we can start making some flour. I'm very excited to try this because I've never used one of these before. I got this recipe from Sue Becker because she talks about how many more nutrients are in milling your own grain. And this is an organic hard red wheat berry. So this adds a ton of fiber to your diet as well as an assortment of vitamins. So if you are using your mill with a KitchenAid, you want to put it on speed 10 and the finer setting. Okay, it has been a little over 10 minutes now, and I will say this is not the fastest. I've made about this much flour in the last 10 minutes. And I do think it's because I have it set on the finest setting. So it's taking a while to really break down the wheat. And you don't want to do it for too long because if I touch my KitchenAid right now, it is burning hot and I don't want to kill my motor. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a rest period. But as you can see over here, our yeast is really bubbled up. This is what you want it to look like. And at this point, I'm just going to add a little bit of my flour. We're going to be using anywhere to 4 to 4.5 cups of our milled flour in our recipes. So I'm going to start with just adding 1 cup of my freshly milled flour. And I'm also going to add my salt at this point. You don't want to add the salt when the yeast is activating, but now that I'm adding the flour to it, I can add in my salt. And you can use anywhere between 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm using a Celtic sea salt, and I find this adds a less salty flavor to what I'm cooking. So now I'm just gonna stir this together. We are gonna need our bread, but first I'm gonna add some more flour and just stir it till it's combined. So as you can see, I have another KitchenAid here because this is my old one and this one was just overheating so much. So I switched to my old one and I got a few more cups of flour. And I also gave my little KitchenAid a little ice pack because she was cooking. And now we can add the rest of our flour to our bread base. So right now we have 2 cups in there. So I'm going to add in another 2 cups of my milled flour. So now on a low speed, I'm just gonna turn on my mixer. First I have to plug it back in. So now that it's plugged in, I can turn it on to low speed. And I just want this to form a loose ball and see if I need to add any more flour to it, if it's too wet. So my dough is still too wet, so I have about 1/2 cup of flour and I'm gonna just slowly add it in about 1 tablespoon at a time until it comes together. And I actually ended up using a total of 5 cups of flour in this recipe. And I like to pull it off the dough hook and kind of knead it by hand for a minute because often the inside is still wet, but the outside is coated in flour. So it looks super perfect, but then on the inside, it's still really sticky. And as you can see, we now have a ball of dough. So now I'm going to knead this on low speed for about 10 to 12 minutes, which is longer than normal, but freshly milled dough needs a little more kneading because of the extra bran and germ, so the gluten needs more work to develop properly. After that, I'll do the window pane test, stretching the dough to see if I can almost see through it without it tearing. And I'm just going to cover my bowl with some saran wrap to keep in the air, and we're gonna let this rise or proof, as they say in the Great British Baking Show, for 90 minutes. And you do want to do it in a fairly warm place. If you're doing this in the winter time and it's cold in your house, I recommend just turning on your oven for like 5 minutes and then turning it off and letting it cool down and keeping it in there, because you want it to be around 75 degrees when you're letting it rise, 75 to 80. So now that she's covered, I'm gonna pop off to the gym and I'll see you guys in an hour and a half. And just look at her. Isn't she beautiful? I don't know about you, but I find baking bread so satisfying. Since I'm making 2 loaves, I'm going to cut the dough in half. You can weigh it if you want to make sure both loaves are even. For the first loaf, I'm using a loaf pan. I'll shape the dough into a rectangle, fold it over in thirds, spin it around, fold it again, and then tuck in the sides. You want the top to be a little tight so you get that nice crust. Then I'll pop the dough into a greased loaf pan, cover it, and let it proof again for about an hour or until it rises just over the sides of the pan. For the second loaf, I'm going to bake it in a Dutch oven. I tuck in all the edges to make a nice tight ball shape, then place it in a Dutch oven, cover it, and let it proof as well. Once both loaves have risen to the right height, which took about an hour, I bake them in a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for about 30 minutes. And there's nothing better than the smell of baking bread. They look so beautiful. I'm really happy with how each loaf looks. After taking them out of the oven, I take some butter and brush it over the crust to give that beautiful, shiny finish. Now, here is the hard part. Do not cut into your loaf until it is completely cooled, because the steam inside continues to redistribute moisture and finish the baking process. Cutting too soon lets that moisture escape, which can leave your bread gummy instead of soft and perfectly textured. Finally, it's cool, and we can slice into this beauty. I am so happy with the texture and how soft this bread is. If you've never had freshly milled bread, you'll be amazed at how much flavor it has. And what I really love is I don't get that carb crash from eating it like I do with some store-bought bread. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you give milling your own flour a try, and if you do, please let me know how it goes.